Hey everybody, you're watching KTAL News Now, and today is Wellness Wednesday, where we'll be covering a variety of health topics from both local and national news. Our first story is about Sickle Cell Awareness Day, which was on June 19th. The goal is to increase understanding and acknowledge challenges experienced by those living with sickle cell disease. LSU Health Shreveport's Weiss-Weiler Cancer Center is spreading awareness through public art. The month-long exhibit celebrates the strength and creativity of patients, caregivers, and providers whose lives were impacted by sickle cell disease.
It's just wonderful to see that they take the time to, in spite of their illness and what they're dealing with, to still be able to be prolific in the art.
And the sickle cell patients have a particular challenge because they sort of have an invisible disease. You cannot look at a person and tell that they have sickle cell disease. And when they talk about the pain that they've got, but being seen and being heard is what they're really needing the most.
The exhibit features paintings, photography, mixed media, and pottery. The pieces will be on display throughout the Cancer Center until July 18th. A decorated athlete was honored in an Arkansas community for discussing issues surrounding maternal health. Crystal Bridges held a lecture with Allyson Felix, the most decorated track and field athlete of all time. At the peak of her career, she faced a life-threatening pregnancy and a 70% pay cut from her sponsor, exposing a sports industry without maternal protections. The goal of the lecture was to bring awareness to the maternal health crisis, especially for women.
There is a lot of work being done to create solutions for these issues that have been happening for far too long. And so I hope that the film is impactful. I am so happy that there are so many people who are passionate about this cause and doing something about it.
The conversation coincided with the premiere of the documentary She Runs the World at the Bentonville Film Festival. A Shreveport teenager has created a groundbreaking invention that could save millions of lives. Elisha Gatewood has more.
17-year-old Maya Truchel, a junior at Caddo Parish Magnet High School, took first place in the Embedded Systems category at the 75th Regeneron International Science and Engineering Fair in Columbus, Ohio.
Yeah, so I saw that hospitalized patients, they were very likely to develop these things called pressure injuries. Commonly they're known as bed sores, and about 2.5 million people develop them annually in the U.S. alone.
Maya created a small but smart device that monitors a patient's movement and uses an algorithm to predict the risk of a bed sore before it develops. She says it's a game changer for nurses and hospitals.
And to prevent these pressure ulcers, nurses turn patients every 3 to 4 hours. But as you can imagine, that's very manual and time consuming. But they have no way in which to automatically know whether a patient has either turned themselves or when they have to go turn that patient.
She says her invention uses a thermal camera and an algorithm to track patient positioning and alert staff when it's time to change their positions.
So that machine learning model is then able to say, okay, this patient has been in a position for 3 hours, therefore it's suggested that we turn them. And to come from Shreveport, such a small city, and being a woman, I feel that it's even more special to know and to know that I'm being treated as a researcher.
The Longevity Center in Shreveport can help patients live healthier and longer lives. KTAL's Susan Curtin has more.
Welcome back, guys. Are you ready to begin your journey to a longer, healthier life? The Longevity Center that has therapies that can help you do just that. Joining me today is Dr. Rick Michael to discuss the groundbreaking technologies that they have there. Hi, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Doc, we get busy. There are times when we really feel run down, and so you have got some groundbreaking therapies that can really turn that around.
Yeah, we think so. We opened the Longevity Center within the past year. It's a health and wellness center promoting lifestyle medicine. So many people end up at the doctor with an end-stage problem, hypertension, dementia. We're trying to do modalities, treatments that will help these people to where maybe they don't end up with these problems.
Well, there's some fascinating technologies. We were hearing about this. So one of the technologies is it's NAD/IV therapy. What does that do?
Yeah, so NAD is a protein, a coenzyme that your body makes. It tends to decrease as you get older, so we don't have as much of it to do the positive things it does, but it's involved in cellular energy production. It's in every cell in the body, and it also helps to, with the aging process, DNA repair as you get older, so that you won't have many of the medical problems we deal with.
It's very, very interesting. So this is basically an injection that you
Yes.
get? Okay.
It can be given various ways. At the Longevity Center, we give it through an IV infusion.
Right.
Through doctors, you can also get sub-Q injections. It can be taken oral, but it's felt to work most effectively when you give it IV.
So I know it supports cellular health, it enhances energy, brain function, it can help you with cardio health, even addiction recovery apparently.
Yeah, it's used for all of those purposes. We've had most interest for aging of your brain and
Yes.
trying to prevent cognitive dysfunction as you get older.
Right, we all want to be able to focus a little bit better as we get older. That little catalog gets pretty full.
It does, very quick.
So what is exosome?
So exosome therapies, many people have heard of PRP treatments, platelet-rich plasma. It's kind of the next generation. Exosomes are these little packets of information that your cells make, and they signal your stem cells that are very valuable to come in and help regenerate aging tissue and reproduce or replace cells that are aging and need to be replaced by younger cells.
I understand it can transform your hair, your skin, it can help with ortho health.
Correct. It's mostly been used for hair, skin, and nail rejuvenation, but we've used it a lot for trying to help people who have joints that are wearing out that are maybe considering a joint replacement, but you can put it right into a joint. The idea is it stimulates stem cells to come in and try to grow new cartilage.
That is so fascinating. All right, then there's the oxygen bar.
Yeah.
Now, I've been to a party where there was an oxygen bar. I think this is different,
Yeah.
right?
Well, no, it's very similar.
Is it?
We do hyperbaric oxygen, which is different, but this is just nasal cannula oxygen like you wear in the hospital.
Right.
You know, your cells run on oxygen. We breathe 21% oxygen in the air, so you get a little bit higher level. It's good for blood flow to various tissues. A lot of folks who have headaches just need to relax, just feel run down, can come and get oxygen. And
Right.
it'll help them feel better.
So it gives you increased energy, improves your mood. It can help you with sleep. So these are all therapies that are being, they're getting new advances in them every day. And I love that we have a center that can really hone in on some of these things that could just make your quality of life so much better.
Exactly. We're trying to be proactive. We don't like to prescribe medications. We try to prevent it. So these are ways that you can be proactive about your health and hopefully not end up in my office with high blood pressure and heart disease and other things.
Well, hopefully not. But if you do need someone, Dr. Rick Michael is there for you at the Longevity Center. Thanks so much, guys.
Thank you.
We are the believers, we are the hope keepers, living to make a difference. We are the together, determined to make it better. We are from the west side, we are from the east side, we are from the south and from the north. Knowing that the changes start right where we live. We are.
Enrollment is now open for Northwest Louisiana's Technical Community College. KTAL's Mata Drain had college representatives in the studio to talk more.
Education. We are joined today with two lovely individuals from Louisiana Technical Community College, the Northwest campus, which is right here in Shreveport. But you guys have several other campuses, so we're here with Kelsey and Jacques to tell us all about that. Now, Kelsey, talk to us about, what you guys offer overall, because you have a lot of skills that students can come in and gain from your programs.
Yes, at NLTCC, we have a program for everybody. Most of our programs are 18 months. We do offer some shorter term training, and we focus on getting our students the skills they need to succeed in high wage, high demand careers.
Okay, sounds good. Now, like I said, you have a campus here, but what are the other locations that you have as well?
Yeah, we have a campus in Minden as well as Mansfield.
Ooh, all right. So no matter where you are, you guys, this is a very accessible type of institution for you to get involved with. So let's talk about some of the new things you guys have coming up, which we talked about. You recently implemented the new EMT program, which you are the director for, Mr. Jock. Talk to us about that.
Our EMT program is actually something that we've decided to add in alongside our CNA workforce, our phlebotomy, but it's a 16-week course. And we'll have our next class actually starting in January because of the time constraints you need to make sure that all those terms line up. Summer is typically 8 weeks, so that's why we delayed the next class to starting to the spring.
Why do you think it was so imperative for this skill to be added on, to this institution?
Well, the demand is there. Everyone knows that we're in a crisis with healthcare because of the underlying shortages that we've seen, especially with the pandemic and some lingering effects of that even. So we're excited about it.
Sounds good. Not only are you guys adding new programs, but you're adding new tools to use during these programs. One of the tools is Mr. HAL. Talk to us about HAL and what this is doing, for your students.
HAL is our multi-purpose simulator mannequin. Basically, it provides the students the opportunity to safely practice all those valuable skills that they'll need in the healthcare industry with a mannequin that's capable of doing any and everything possible scenarios that come preloaded or even customizable ones.
Okay, well, this sounds like a tool that, the students definitely need, because I love a good hands-on activity. Nothing beats, just working straight out of a book and learning just like that. That gets boring sometimes. Yeah. So definitely glad that you all have that tool. And then we're going to just talk about the enrollment really quickly and how people can get involved if they are looking to further their education.
Yeah, fall enrollment is currently open. We're encouraging everyone to apply so they can secure their classes, and classes start August 11th.
All right, you guys heard that. Classes start August 11th, and the new EMT program kicks off in January, correct?
January.
All right, so if you're looking forward to that, visit our website for more details. Stay with us.
Informed Choice Insurance opened a brand new medical supply and equipment store in Vivian, Louisiana. Susan Curtin spoke with the owners.
Hi guys, helping people to navigate the often confusing world of Medicare, life and home insurance. Informed Choice Insurance in Vivian has been a trusted advisor, and now they're on the grow. Richard Pungello and Jordan Shears join us with some great news. Hi guys.
Hey, how you doing?
What's opening?
Okay, well, we just recently opened up a new durable medical equipment and supply company over in Vivian.
Okay.
So it's been something that we've been talking about doing for a while now. It's been a pretty big need in that area. There is nothing actually within a 40-mile radius of Vivian. So the closest things for the people in that area and surrounding areas is here in Shreveport, and then going up to Arklatex as well.
I was going to ask you how you identified the need in that community. I guess, when you have a personal relationship with your agent, these things come out, right? The need for equipment and the accessibility of it.
Yeah, so we had some clients that had some oxygen needs and had some other needs, and literally it was on a Friday afternoon. They said, hey, we can't deliver till next week. Haley and I had a conversation about that. We talked with Jordan, and literally within 2 months we got this up and running.
Wow.
And it just was something that we knew there was a need for it.
Right. So what is the scope of what people can get in that location?
We have applied for all the permits, so we're looking to get oxygen, so if people have that need. Any type of durable medical equipment for diabetes, monitoring of diabetics, walkers, wheelchairs, different diabetic socks, a variety of other products that if they have a need, it's right there, they can get it right away.
This seems like an unusual business model. I don't know of too many other, life and health and Medicare agents that also specialize in equipment.
Yeah, we saw the need and we just said, let's do it, and then let's help the community out.
Right. Well, that's amazing. So it's going to be right next door to the other location, so very easy to find. And where is that?
It's on 105 East Louisiana Street in Vivian.
Great.
So it being right next to the office is really easy for us to kind of like, if we're meeting with our clients and they say like, hey, I'm having some mobility issues, I got this prescription from my doctor to get a walker, well then we can send them right over to our store next door, and then they can get what they need.
That is amazing. Well, you saw a need, you filled the need. That's what it's all about in our community, of course. And I do have one last question. Did you have to get rid of some chickens to build a new place?
Oh, yeah, no. There's actually, we have a little chicken model thing inside the store, so,
You may have seen their commercial.
Really getting on top of me about that.
I have to ask you about the chickens. So you get winks from all your family now, right?
They're really, we saw that commercial and my dad said, hey, what's going on here? So, yeah, do some things differently.
Well, it's great, and it will make people remember you. So that is definitely, this is the guys with the chicken, okay? But they do an absolutely fantastic job, all right? Thanks so much for coming in again. Informed Choice Insurance, new medical location opening right next door. We'll be right back.
Determined to make it better with every bit of the time we give. We are from the west side, we are from the east side, we are from the south and from the north. Knowing that the changes start right where we live. We all are the local changing force. So put your hands in with all your heart.
June is Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. Oakland native Ryan Coogler, who directed the Black Panther movies and most recently Sinners, spoke in Oakland about men's mental health.
Here at Desi's Lounge in downtown Oakland, 2 Oakland natives joined forces to spotlight men's mental health. Inside Oakland's Desi Lounge, raw honesty and healing took center stage.
Being honest with yourself. And being okay with being afraid.
The event, called Dope Era Thug Therapy, brought together men from all walks of life for an unapologetic conversation on mental health.
You ask for help, especially as a man, especially a black man. You question, like, can I really handle the day-to-day? And then mostly what happens is it's like, say, okay, go seek therapy, go see a counsel. But it just feels harder and harder because you don't want to come off as weak. You don't want to feel like you can't face your own struggles, your internal struggles.
Please make some noise for Ryan Coogler.
Led by director Ryan Coogler and rapper activist Mr. Fab.
We all have struggles. We all have struggles, but we're not going to be caught up on the hurdles of our struggles. We're going to learn how to get over them. It's very important that you see people that have leaped over hurdles, and the reason why is because it can show you that, if they could do it, I can do it as well.
For Coogler, whose films like Fruitvale Station and Black Panther already sparked deep emotional dialogue, this moment is personal, a homecoming and a call to action.
In last week's edition of Fit for Life Friday, Robert Superman Blunt stopped by the studio to talk the importance of protein in your diet. Susan Curtin has more.
Fit for Life Friday with Robert Superman Blunt. How you doing, Sue?
I'm doing great. How about you?
I am doing great, especially on a Friday when I get to see you. So, protein is vital for a healthy lifestyle, for a healthy diet for many reasons, right?
Yes, it is. Well, what you have to remember is that we work our body all day long, and we'll eat. But the key is, what is my plate saying when I put food on it? So when I put food on my plate, I always look at exactly what is it the food's saying to me. If I got a lot of sweet, like peach cobbler on my plate, that peach cobbler is saying this is going to be trouble.
Right. It's not going to help.
It's not going to help, but it's going to taste good.
Yeah.
So you have to realize, by working your muscles all the time, and especially in resistance training and exercise, in order to feed the muscle, you must give it amino acids, which are protein. You've got to feed the muscle protein, because protein brings vitality and strength back directly to the muscle. It doesn't give you a lot of energy, but protein does feed the muscle.
It does make you feel stronger. It makes you think more clearly. It's the building block for muscles, bones, skin, blood, tissue repair, helps with immunity. And it helps you to feel mentally and physically stronger. In cults, they feed them all like mashed potatoes and pasta and rice because they don't want them to have any will. And if you feed people protein, they have a lot of will.
Okay, I like that. I didn't know that part, but that's good.
No, we're talking about portion control, though, too, right? I mean, we're not talking about people going out and getting a 16-ounce tomahawk, right?
Well, the biggest thing is you want to eat clean. Now, there's a lot of protein in steak, but what I try to teach clients is steak has a lot of fat in it, regardless of how lean it is. So when you eat steak, remember, that's the diet of a sumo wrestler.
Right.
You know how sumo wrestlers look. And big offensive linemen and defensive linemen, these are huge men. Steak is their diet. So if you're going to eat a lot of steak, expect what you're going to look like. but clean white fish, tilapia, things like that, salmon, chicken, fish, those kind of things. Very clean, low in calories, but packed with protein.
And there are many fruits and vegetables and legumes, of course, which are beans that have protein. Broccoli has tons of protein.
Yes,
People
it
don't
does.
realize that, and fiber, which is good for you. And of course, with all things balance, moderation. It's said that you don't want a piece of protein on your plate. You need protein on your plate, but you want something that's about the width and diameter of your palm, of the palm. So that's 4 to 6 ounces per meal is going to be great. And I think that's a good rule of thumb for just about
It is. A lot of they talk a lot of time about the size of the fist or the hand or whatever. But my thing is understand moderation, because of enough meat for my fist if I'm finished training is not going to work.
Right. You need more because you're working harder. There you go.
But you are right. Eat in moderation and eat clean. Get that protein in your body so to supplement your health and your strength.
And of course, when you add protein to your diet, you also need to add water and you need to add fiber, because too much protein can have the opposite effect. It can actually sort of block you up, and it can be very dense in your diet if that's all you're doing.
It can. Remember, too much of anything is not good.
Right.
So we want to make sure everything is done in moderation. But if you're exercising, and especially with resistance training, you have to get protein in you so that that body can recuperate and the muscles can be repaired.
And protein will leave you feeling more satisfied than a bag of chips will, or anything else you may grab for to eat. If you eat a cup, eat a half a can of tuna, you're going to actually feel a lot better and be more satisfied and not have those hunger pains. Whereas if you eat a couple of crackers, your body doesn't know what that is, and it's going to say, no, we want more.
Yeah, they say, I like the crunch, but it's not doing anything for me.
Right.
But remember, when you take protein, protein breaks down into the body, metabolizes itself, and goes directly into the muscle, and that's what reparation is.
Yeah, wonderful. Wonderful advice as always.
We got it.
Thanks so much, Sue.
Thank you.
Thank you guys so much for joining me on KTAL News Now. You can catch us every day, Monday through Friday at 1 p.m. But for now, I'm Anthony Mocklin, and thank you for joining us.